Hello, everybody. This is Sam, and I just wanted to share with you my incarnational translation of Luke chapter 5, verses 12 through 15. So there was this guy named Jesus who would go from town to town on these big tent revivals, and he would preach, and there would be healings, and he had made quite a name for himself. And so in this town, this next town that Jesus was about to have this revival at, this man who was suffering from AIDS, he had had the disease for over 7 years. The doctors couldn't help him. There's no cure for the disease. His immune system was shot, and he was always sick. The church he attended, he was a believer, but the church he attended really didn't. They kind of shunned him because they didn't know what, they were kind of disgusted by him because of his disease, and he was always, asking God to heal him, and nothing was happening, and so wasn't getting much help from his church. But he had heard about this man named Jesus and all of the fame that, not fame, but basically all of the stories of healing. And so he thought to himself, I gotta meet this man. I've gotta ask him to pray for me. And I know if he were to pray over me, I'd be healed. And so he actually shows up an hour before the service is supposed to start, where the tent revival is, and he sees Jesus actually praying in the corner, and he taps him on the shoulder and says, Jesus, I'm so sorry to bother you, um, but I've been suffering from this horrible disease, and I've been shunned by my friends and family and my church, and I'm always sick, and I know that if you were just to pray for me right now, I would be healed. And Jesus looked at him with eyes of compassion and grace and love, and said, I know that it is your faith in your faith in God that is going to heal you right now. And so if we could just take a moment, let's pray. And Jesus laid his hands upon him and said, in the name of my Father, you are healed. Be clean and go forward in the healing. And so this man knew it immediately when he just sensed, he just felt this burning sensation in his body, and he knew immediately that he had been healed. He didn't feel sick, and he was just exuberant. He was excited after all these years of doctor's bills, that he had been healed. But Jesus tells him something curious. He says, listen, I don't want you to go back to your home church and tell anyone about this, that you've been healed. I just want you to be faithful, go to church, go to Sunday school, do what you're supposed to do. And over time, people are going to see your healing. But I don't want you to broadcast it to everyone in the town. The man thought that was kind of curious, but he did as Jesus said. But it was really hard, and so he told a few people about it, and it just spread like wildfire, because they saw that this man was different. And Jesus had decided after the big tent revival to just spend a few days at the hotel, just getting some R and just relaxing and praying. And people were just clamoring outside his hotel room because there were people that were sick in the town, and they wanted healing because they had heard about this man being healed. And Jesus, just needed that time to just get away and rejuvenate and be with God, um, and be with God the Father, and just be able to pray. So he was getting ready for his next visit to his next town. Anyways, guys, this was my sharing of that chapter. I know I took a lot of creative license, but I hope you enjoyed it. And again, my prayer is that I was able to capture, in today's terms, that story of the man with leprosy, what that would have meant back then, and how that would apply to a situation for today. So God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day and be blessed.